I have literally no idea why anybody would want to own an XL Bully. And I appreciate, all the usual cliches kick in at this. We've seen pictures this morning from people who own them and they love them. It's the most loving part of our family. Our dog wouldn't hurt a bean. They're just nice and decent and very friendly. But of course, you're owning essentially the equivalent of a bear, right? I mean, let's just be honest about this. This is like being in an abusive relationship.
Okay, but so are you if you own one of the other bully breeds. So where are they going with this? Because they're speaking against the logic. They're dealing with how it doesn't make sense to own a so-called pet with a bite as powerful as a bear's. Okay, so how long is it going to take for y'all to realize that you're talking about a bunch of dogs that you legalized? So are you going to segue into that? Is that where they're going with this? Because over there in the UK, as bad as dog attacks are over there, they're making a far bigger rally against dogs or against dog attacks than the United States. So where is this going?
Be honest about this. This is like being in an abusive relationship where, I'm sure much of the time things rub along okay, but these things can turn. And if one of these things turns, that's it. It's game over. I own a cockapoo.
Same is the case with the other legalized bully breeds over there.
Thing turned, I would win the battle. I would win the battle with a Jack Russell. I'd win the battle with a poodle. It could give me a nasty nip. I ain't going to win any battles with an XL Bully or one of those dogs. They've got biting capabilities up there with a wolf, for goodness sake. If they were to turn, because they were...
Again, so is the other dogs.
In some way provoked, if neurologically something happened, if for some reason that breed decided that they were fed up with being Mr. Nice Guy, whatever happens, it's no use saying, well, we're responsible owners. You can't control all the time what a dog might do. You could...
Wow. How dare they deal with this part of it? They're dealing with the logical part of this, part of dog culture. That's daring. Are they serious? Okay, this is what needs to be talked about. This is what needs to be said.
What a dog might do. You can only minimize it by owning the right kind of dog. And these...
Okay, so wow. Again, this applies to a bunch of the legal bully breeds and other dogs that they got over there in the UK. So are they going to stop? Are they headed towards being a country where you can only own small dogs, like no dogs over 30, 35 pounds?
These kind of things have no place in the home, frankly. An XL Bully, really? You got kids around and you own one of these beasts? It'll have your throat out as soon as look at it if it had the hump. And there's the fundamental problem. And if you don't know the new rules, then frankly, you shouldn't be owning any kind of dog at all. I think that's a fair comment. And when you look at some of the images that we see of the kind of characters in the street, Dodge Pop McDougal with his dog of doom on the end of a bit of rope, walking around the place like he owns the gaff. We've seen that way too often. It's teasing people. Look, here's what my dog could do. It could kill you if you wanted to. It's a weapon, for God's sake. This from Andy, who says, it's the cliche...
Again, several of the other ones can kill you too. It's not just the XL Bully. I don't like the way they're singling out XL Bullies as if only those dogs are capable of doing this stuff.
Again, there are no bad dogs, just bad owners. No, Andy, that's not true. There are bad dogs. There are dogs that if they turn, they are bad. It doesn't mean they start off bad. It's the owners that should be banned from owning any breed of dog. I agree with that. Dogs need to be trained. If they aren't, this is where the problem lies. Don't ban dogs, ban bad owners. I would agree to a degree, but some dogs, again, I refer you to my previous comments. Linda says, if you are a responsible owner, then you wouldn't mind only buying a dog like this from a licensed breeder. Mandatory dog training, dog to be muzzled at all times in public, mandatory insurance, and not to be around young children. That's spot on. Regular inspections by the RSPCA or the police, just like a gun.
You can't enforce that. If you legalize the ownership of these things, you can't make sure that the owner never has it around small children. That's what he just mentioned as one of the regulations. If you were to legalize these things, You're saying this, it should be a law. But you can't have it. You can't police that. I mean, even if you say that a person who is a parent, have their kid on the lease with them, is not allowed to be a dog owner, they can lie about that. Okay, you just can't police it.
License. And if you're owning something as capable, I mean, these are death machines on 4 legs, okay? Your XL Bully is the kind of stuff that can, cause irreparable damage. So yes, a license and a check is crucial. Leah says, as a dog lover, yes, owners have to take full responsibility for their dog's action. The days of letting dogs run around without a leash are indeed over. One in from Gina says, the ban has not come soon enough. People complaining need to stop for a minute and think about the damage these kind of dogs have done. I guarantee if anyone opposed to the ban had been attacked themselves or lost a child or a loved one in an XL Bully attack, they would have a completely different view. The sheer size...
That's my thing. Like, as dog lovers, why wouldn't they look at their objection to owning XL Bullies as an argument that would eventually segue into the legal dogs, some on what they might love, like the Labradors, Dobermans, and other dogs? Like, how can you not look at this argument that you came up with against XL Bullies and not realize that same things could be said about the legalized dog? So is that where they're headed, or are they just having fun, doing that?
And capability of these dogs makes them too much of a risk to the public, coupled with their incredible tolerance for pain. They are near impossible to stop.
Same with the other bully breed. That's a bully breed trait. Again, is that where they're going? That's where they need to go. That's where the whole world needs to go. So what is the UK doing? Is they trying to smarten up before everybody else, or at least before the United States? Other countries are always trying to show the United States up.
This breed, along with some of the other larger mastiffs, like the Cane Corso or the Presa Canario, are totally unsuitable.
See? And they actually, on this program, mentioned it. They read someone's comment, somebody who sent in a comment, who mentioned that basically said that all these bully breeds need to go. Listen again.
Larger mastiffs, like the Cane Corso, and capability of these dogs makes them too much of a risk to the public, coupled with their incredible tolerance for pain. They are near impossible to stop. This breed, along with some of the other larger mastiffs, like the Cane Corso or the Presa Canario, are totally unsuitable for suburban living, as are many of the livestock guardians, like the Kangal. The Dangerous Dog Act must be revised to encompass more of these breeds.
Now, that is exactly what should be done. And the dogs that should be included or on the ban list should be all bully breeds. I can sort of understand, or I can't understand it, but I could see them saying that the dogs that were not bred to fight are okay. We can keep those because fighting and attacking is not what they were bred for. It's just so irresponsible to push fighting breeds as pets. We can't do that no more. I could totally see that happening. So as to lighten the blow. But it does apply to these other dog breeds. So I don't know. It seemed like they're playing with fire here.
Thank you, Gina, for that. It's absolutely bang on. We can't seem to get our heads around the idea that there are just dogs that really are not compatible with being owned in a domestic setting, if for no other reason than the possibility might be small, the possibility that they could turn. This in from Mike: I feel sorry that dogs have to be put down these days. Breeders need to be fined. Also, people don't realise they have to put their hands through the lead handle, not hold a lead with the fingers. I've seen a Staffordshire Bull Terrier slip the handler and go straight after another dog, and that was bad enough, but the XL Bullies go for people. It's scary that you could be anywhere and have one of these dogs come at you. And all of I would say most of those attacks we've seen over the last year have been those kind of random moments. Or you've got people with dogs like this in a house with kids. I mean, you should just go to jail forever if that is your idea of...
Okay, what in the world? Are they serious? Like, you can't talk like this and then just act like you never was talking like this. Sound like they're flirting with the idea of being sane individuals here. It has to be all talk. This has to be all talk. Okay? This is clickbait stuff.
Jail forever if that is your idea of...
Basically saying, hey, if you own a large dog, you should go to jail forever if you got kids in the home. You know how many people that is? In the UK and the United States, he actually sat there and said it.
Random moments. Or you've got people with dogs like this in a house with kids. I mean, you should just go to jail forever if that is your idea of responsible ownership. But we've had a lot of those street attacks as well, and you've seen in that footage people walking around like these dogs are some kind of bizarre badge of honor. Mia says, I'm so glad they're being banned, but there's 5 or 6 other breeds that should also be added to this list because they...
5 or 6 other breeds. Okay? Somebody send a question or statement like that in. You think the media, if they were pro-dog or pro-bully breed, would say, oh, no, we're not going to read that statement. You know, because we don't want to talk about banning all bully breeds. You know, that's too serious of a move. But he reading them.
They may cross them with others and they'll be able to get away with it. And there's the other problem. The interbreeding makes it a different breed, especially if they cross them with Staffies, American Bullies, and other similar looking bully breeds.
And even pinpoint bully breeds. Wow. You know, it sounds like a serious discussion, almost like they're serious. Well, yeah. If you are serious, all bully breeds, duh. Everybody should know that.
Especially if they cross them with Staffies, American Bullies, and other similar looking bully breeds. And Andrew says, the problem is the people who own them. The amounts of people who have dogs never bother to train them. I've trained all my dogs to walk by my side or without a lead. I think any dog can do a lot of damage. Like I say, it's the owners who are to blame. And you have to be responsible. Even when I take the little cockapoo out for a walk, I mean, this little beast is mad. She's that big. Mad in a fun kind of way. But she'll jump up at anybody. And you do get a look from people. People look at you like you've got some kind of Stephen King thing on a lead, as if it's about to turn into something.
Okay. I thought that was interesting. So what is this? Is this the beginning of something? Like, where's this going to go? Next week, are they just not going to be talking about this or talking like this? How are they going to talk about dogs in the future? Is this the groundwork for eventually banning all bully breeds? We'll see. I seriously doubt it and don't think so. But, the American journalists not talking like this. Shout out to I Hate Mutts. Yeah, I don't think they care. The American journalists, media outlets, they're not talking nothing like this. There's no way Yahoo or any of these nutter United States media outlets would talk like this. And they're doing this on several media outlets there in the UK. So it's different over there. I know dog culture in general, especially the fact these people can't have guns. That is insane. The only reason it's sort of tolerable, these dogs here in the United States, is because we can protect ourselves with firearms. Like, what in the world are y'all thinking over there? No, nobody can have guns, but you can just have any type of firearm you want. Wow. So this is my first of the types of videos I sort of want to segue into that's sort of better researched before they're actually dealt with. That way I can include, and it's just, I don't know, recently I've been feeling more comfortable producing the videos with the members first. And of course I'll go back to regularity, public, but I just have my moments like this. So big shout out to everybody. I will see y'all on the next one.